Hi everyone, Lisa Tamati here, and today I'm going to be talking you through a few of my top tips for sleep optimization, because sleep is the biggest lever you have for your health. Most people just do not get how important sleep is. Getting your 7 to 9 hours would be absolutely optimal if you can, and anything under that is really going to add up to being not great for you. So what are my top tips? Now, in the morning, getting up and getting some early morning sunshine on your eyes is really, really important. You have these melanopsin cells on your eyes that receive light. This is not about vision and seeing things, but it's the quality of the light that tells your body what time of the day it is. So by getting a few minutes of early morning sunlight on your eyes, it'll help suppress the melatonin production and increase your cortisol production. And that's the time of the day when you want your cortisol to be up. This helps reset the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is like a clock in your brain that tells you what time of the day it is. So setting yourself up right at the beginning of the day with some early morning sunshine would be my first tip. Then at the opposite end of the scale, at nighttime, we don't want to be exposing our eyes to lots of blue light. Now, blue light is what we want in the morning, right? To get our cortisol up. At nighttime, we don't want that cortisol release, because that's when we're trying to calm down, calm the nervous system down, get into a parasympathetic nervous state and go to sleep, right? So unfortunately, in the world that we live in, where we've got fluorescent lights, where we've got screens, we've got televisions and so on, we're being exposed to excessive amounts of blue light. So what you can do is, as soon as the sun goes down, and by the way, if you get to see a sunset go down, that will really tell your brain once again what time of the day it is, and then it's now time to wind down. The quality of the light in the sunset really has an effect. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it from an evolutionary perspective, that we've evolved to be with the sun going up and the sun going down. And now in our artificial environments with a lot of light around us at nighttime, we're stuffing up our circadian rhythms, basically. So what else can you do to block out blue light? Well, understanding that your screens are going to be emitting blue light, you can get software like Flux and things that can give your screens a better light. Also wearing blue light blocking glasses, make sure you get some quality ones that are actually blocking the blue light. That can be really beneficial. I certainly do that. And trying not to spend too much time on the screens at nighttime is really important. That's including your televisions as well as your phones and of course your computer. And then doing anything that's cognitively going to get you really excited at nighttime. Watching a horror movie, maybe not a great idea just before bed. You want to be doing things that are calming the nervous system down. I also do 10 minutes of yoga every night just before I head to bed, or about a half an hour before. If I don't feel like doing yoga, I at least lie on the floor and put my legs up the wall. What does this do? It again stimulates that parasympathetic nervous system, tells my body it's time for going to sleep, and just helps me wind down. But doing a little bit of gentle yoga is another great way to do that, and controlling your breath. Now, the fastest way that I have to fall asleep is doing a couple of little breathing exercises. So when I get into bed, one of the things I do is also tape my mouth shut. My husband loves that, by the way. He thinks that's great because I get shut up for 5 minutes. And it's just a little tiny piece of tape. You don't have to tape your whole mouth, and it sounds scary, but it's actually not. And I used to be really scared of doing this. But you just put a little piece of tape across your mouth, and it reminds you to breathe through your nose. And it will take a bit of adjusting if you're not used to it. If you're like me, you grew up mouth breathing all the time, you didn't understand the importance of nasal breathing. It'll take a little bit of time. And I've done a few podcasts with James Nestor and Patrick McEwen, experts in this area, on how to get yourself ready to do this. But it's a really, really important piece of the puzzle. What that does is will help you have a better sleep. You'll produce less urine actually overnight, which can help stop the having to get up to the loo 100 times a night. That can be very disruptive for your sleep. So taping that mouth shut, having those blue light blocking glasses, making sure you're not being exposed to bright lights, maybe replacing some of the lights in your house with red lights or things that are not going to be exposing you to that wrong spectrum. Another thing that I do as well is take magnesium. Now, magnesium comes in many different types of forms, and there are different forms for different purposes. Just to go over a couple of the common ones, and what you see mostly in things like the supermarket with your cheap magnesium. So not all created equal, okay? So magnesium oxide is a very common and cheap one, but it's not the best, not very absorbable. Then you've got magnesium citrate. Magnesium citrate is really great if you're constipated, if you're wanting to have a bowel motion. That's because it's not that well absorbed in the body and actually causes more of a digestive movement and causes bowel movements. So that's a really good one to do if you're having problems in that department. But if you're wanting to actually optimize your sleep, then having a look at something like magnesium bisglycinate, a chelated form, that would be a really good thing to be looking at, and that's going to be systemically available to you and decrease the neuronal activity at nighttime. So check that one out. If you're wanting to actually have something on the opposite scale, and this one I take in the morning, a couple of grams, and that helps optimize my brain function. This one's called magnesium threonate, but getting a bit off topic, but magnesium threonate is actually a bit like a nootropic. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's beneficial for brain health and so on and so forth, but probably not the one that you want to take if you're just going to sleep. So just so you understand the different types of magnesium and what it does. So magnesium, especially the bisglycinate, it will increase your serotonin levels, which is really important for mood and so on, and also for your sleep. It'll help you if you've got restless leg syndrome. It will help relax the muscles. It will increase your melatonin production, increase your GABA. All of these things are going to be calming to the body and help you sleep better. It'll lower your adrenaline. I have too much adrenaline in my life, surprise, surprise. And so this is something that magnesium really, really benefits me with. Again, muscle tension, decreases inflammation as well, magnesium. So it has over 300 functions in the body. It's just one of those absolutely crucial things that we need to be having, magnesium. So if you're struggling with your sleep, maybe add that one into the mix. So a couple of the other things I do is like have a chamomile tea at night. That can also be really beneficial. Again, just the right ingredients at the right time to help you with your sleep. And, doing something, having a set time of the day to go to bed, or a set time of the night to go to bed and get up. What we tend to do is not have enough sleep during the week and then try to catch up on the weekend. You cannot bank sleep. You cannot actually make up for lost sleep. So if you have a night where you've only got 4 or 5 hours sleep, you are going to stay in deficit, and that's going to have massive detrimental effects to your health, to your cognitive well-being. You're increasing your chances of diabetes, your metabolic dysregulation, insulin resistance, which of course is the gateway to so many things. So optimizing your sleep is absolutely important, and you cannot catch up. What happens when you, in the weekend, try to catch up and sleep in, you end up with a sort of form of jet lag. The body doesn't know whether it's here or there. So if you can actually keep, within half an hour, maybe the same time of going to bed and getting up, and sort of prioritizing that 7 up to 9 hours sleep, and just understanding that it's not being lazy to do that, okay? It's actually really optimizing. Now, in the background there is my mum, who's just had an afternoon nap, haven't you, Mum?
Yeah.
So that's also probably not ideal if you're wanting to optimize your sleep at night. Mum's had a brain injury and has got some cancer issues that we're dealing with. So she has a bit of an afternoon sleep. But for most people, avoiding those afternoon naps will help you sleep better at night. So I hope that this was really helpful to you, and you found benefit with it. And Mum's little cameo in the background, I hope didn't disturb you too much, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.